If you're enjoying the show and you'd like to get more, maybe you want to get bonus episodes, maybe you want to get episodes early, maybe you'd like to join monthly video hangouts with me, Jeff, and other fans of the show, the way to find out how to do that is to go to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. Knock it off.
That's why they call it the creator's update, is because when creators are creating it, updates.
Yeah, exactly. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens. This one was sent in to us by quite a few people, and I absolutely love it. So let's talk about food webs.
Food webs. I love a delicious bag of food webs. I buy them at Ralph's, but you can get the really good ones at Trader Joe's.
Do you remember the Spider-Man cereal that looked like little webs?
Yeah.
Do you remember it had marshmallows? I think it was for the 90s cartoon.
Were his face, right?
The marshmallows, I think, were just various...
They were like red blobs that were supposed to be his face.
Yeah, but it was just red blobs. It was a very poorly made cereal.
Well, all cereals are poorly made. There's no artisanal cereals.
I want a quality crafted theme cereal. But no, food webs, of course, if you're super old, you remember the food chain, and that's incorrect. It's a food web. It doesn't just go up a chain, Jeff. There are many different ways. Interlocking threads of fate.
Series of chains.
Who knows who will eat who? No one.
You can't tell at any given moment.
No, nobody's ever paid attention to it. We have no studies on it. We don't know we don't know how animals eat or live.
No.
How is an animal alive?
It's a mystery to me.
They can't have Spider-Man cereal.
I'm just going to walk next to
they could, but how do they get into the grocery store?
Right. They hate how imprecise the faces are.
So what's up is, grass grows, cows eat grass, you eat a cow.
Sounds like a chain to me, Anthony.
It's a chain. But cow also can eat something else, and you can also eat something else. It's a web.
Listen, let's be honest. I'm never going to eat something else.
No, it's only cow.
It's cow all the way down.
But here's a cool new fun thing that changes the way we think about the food web. Kleptopredation.
Kleptopredation.
Yeah.
Explain.
Klepto
meaning steal, predation meaning you're a predator, you eat things.
I think it was Zatanna's catchphrase in DC Comics, right?
Kleptopredation,
and she would appear.
I think that's what Harry Potter says to get that unicorn to come.
Yeah, exactly. Kleptopredation was a new way of eating that was recently discovered in a species of sea slug. Oh. So they think that kleptopredation proves that there's more than a predator-prey relationship. Predator eats prey, and that's it.
Is this when somebody comes into my house and steals my web cereal?
They steal your Spider-Man cereal, and you're just like, no, at this point, it's a collector's item.
And then they say, kleptopredation, and then a puff of smoke appears and they disappear.
And, yeah, that's exactly it, actually.
Well, I guess we finished the story.
You figured it out, so today I learned. Goodbye, everyone. So these researchers were collecting these sea slugs. They're called nudibranches.
He said nude.
As well as some samples of jellyfish relatives that are called hydroids, and then some plankton.
So this is literally Egon from Ghostbusters, collecting spores, molds, and fungus and slimes.
Yeah. Literally everyone who studies living things is an Egon. That's the official name for it, Jeff. It's a bunch of Egons running around.
These fucking Egons.
Nerding it up. A bunch of fucking Egons.
Good job, Egon.
So basically they were looking to see how these sea slugs made their eating decisions, right? So, and what they found was...
It's like us, where, it's like, what do you want for...
Turns out they're hungry.
What do you want for... We could do lunch. You want to... What do you feel like for lunch?
Well, that's what they were trying to figure out, is what these sea slugs felt like for lunch.
Right. And it's the same problem. They sit around there like, we could have Chinese...
They just eat at the same three places.
Had Chinese last night for dinner.
No, so they were looking at these hydroids that the sea slugs were eating, and it turns out that the sea slugs, more often than not, chose to eat hydroids that had just eaten the plankton. They were looking for hydroids that were already full of food, and then eating those hydroids as opposed to the hydroids that had not eaten.
So this is the opposite of cutting out the middleman?
This is nature's turducken.
It's nature's turducken. It's adding the middleman.
Yeah.
It's also eating the middleman.
So this is kleptopredation.
Yeah.
Not only am I eating you, I'm eating your food.
I drink your milkshake.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up. This is what they're doing.
Wow.
Because, and obviously, when you hear it, it makes sense, right? You go, oh, well, if I'm eating an animal and I have to work for my food out in nature, double food.
Double food. That's like if I ate a sandwich that had just eaten a sandwich.
Yeah. A sentient sandwich that had just eaten another sentient or non-sentient sandwich.
Wouldn't that be delicious?
It would be more like when Goofy walks a dog.
Yeah.
Because this sentient
and then eats that
and
dog.
then eats that dog. When this, or like Foghorn Leghorn eating like Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, where is the line here?
See what I did there? I said foul.
I'm glad that you double pointed it out. Because otherwise it would have just slipped by and we couldn't have had that. This is pretty cool. But my question was, well, how do they know? Are they watching?
Right. Are they just waiting at the food place? At the plankton hut? Plankton King? They're hanging out at the Plankton King?
Well, the bummer is they don't really go too far into how do they know in the article, but it does sound like that's kind of what's going on. They're waiting and they're watching and they're seeing when these hydroids eat food. And they're
this fucking is, Anthony?
They're also looking maybe for the hydroids, like after they eat, perhaps their motion is a little slower. Perhaps they are more, they act more sated and they're less in hunting mode.
Anthony, you know what this is?
What?
This is fucking hydroid Hansel and Gretel is what this is. And they're fucking
coming to my candy house?
Witch.
Yeah.
Inviting the little boys and girls in and plumping them up, feeding them all the sweets and delicious goodies that they want.
Or maybe, Jeff, it's like that episode of Tales from the Crypt, Kids Ask Your Parents, where the elderly couple or the rich couple adopts the child and is like fattening him up with sweets in their mansion. And you're like, oh, clearly these are vampires.
Right.
But then the twist at the end is the kid is a werewolf, and that's why he never was able to stay at a foster home. So the vampires go to eat the werewolf kid. Werewolf kid eats the vampires. It's a twist.
Guess I don't need to watch that one now.
Well, statute of limitations, I think, on watching that one is up since it was 30 years ago.
You think that these hydroids are just getting plumped up by their nefarious up the food chain?
No, I absolutely do not.
Slugs?
I think you've taken away totally the wrong thing from it.
I think that's probably what it happens. They have like little plankton houses.
I don't know that that's true.
And they invite them, and hopefully these hydroids are leaving crumbs, little plankton crumbs.
No, I think that's highly implausible.
See their way back home.
The crumb thing is interesting to me. How do you think a plankton crumb comes into being?
Well, it's tinier portions of a plankton.
Okay, so it doesn't have a crumb-like texture.
You try to eat plankton without leaving crumbs. They're a messy food.
Well, and you certainly don't eat plankton in bed next to your partner.
No.
Here's the problem with the theory of kleptopredation.
Uh-oh. There's a problem?
Yeah. Number one, the sample size of this study is very small. It's just one team with their own farmed species that they put into a closed system.
Right.
So it's not like a huge study of all of these nudibranches across a huge area of the globe.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a few of them. The other thing is there are a number of reasons a predator may go after prey after it's just eaten.
It's slow. It's tired. It's got that food coma going on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it wants to
take that.
Maybe it ate a little too much, and it's just like, oh no, I overdid it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna lay down,
fat and happy, just resting under the shade of a.
It was just like one more episode of Stranger Things too. It's like one more episode.
Yeah, that's when I'm most likely to be eaten.
Yeah,
I'm sure of it.
When I get eaten, and I've often said this, it will be when I'm binge watching,
right,
and binge eating. That's when
and yet it doesn't stop me.
That's when poof, kleptopredation.
Yeah. And
they
yet,
sneak in, they
like
sneak out.
Fool, I just live a reckless lifestyle of eating and watching television.
Like a fool. The other problem is, particularly with this species of hydroid, these are jellyfish, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's what's up. Right after a jellyfish feeds, it has sort of expended the sort of the venom from its tendrils. It's sort of expended its stinging capability
because it had to sting the
plankton? It was kind of like it was using its abilities on potential prey.
Oh,
so
it's on its cooldowns.
It's on its cooldown. It doesn't have its ult. It's got to pull back. Tank goes out.
Right.
Maybe somebody drops a shield.
Yeah.
You know, who knows?
That's the. You always wait until
I'm back
everybody.
in 45 seconds, baby.
You wait till everybody's gone their cooldowns and you're screwed. You know, they're screwed.
You got to have good communication.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's the most important
That's
part.
why you got to play. That's why you have to play. And when I say play, I mean go out into the ocean and eat with people you know.
Yeah.
Because if you turn off voice chat in the ocean, it's getting complicated.
Right.
What you
but
need to know.
definitely try our new MOBA.
Yeah.
Kleptopredation.
It's totally free to play.
Yeah. There's a few microtransactions.
A few. Now, when I say a few, I mean certain menu options need to be unlocked.
Yeah, like the start button.
Like 99 cents, though. 99 cents to start. That's fair.
That's fair and honest.
We have a huge team that will eventually start making this game. Once enough people buy their way into the menu.
Once you buy the start button, we'll start making it.
For those of you who don't play video games, sorry about that. But it was all gold.
It was so good.
You guys need to know that it's all gold.
You should go back and play video games and then re-listen to that.
Hey, have you tried video games? So yeah, it's also possible that these nudibranches are just waiting for vulnerable moments. They're not thinking, oh, it looks like your belly is full of food. They're thinking, looks like you can't fight back as much right now.
And bonus is more food.
Bonus happens to be more food sometimes, I guess.
Right. But does that actually translate?
Have you ever like bitten into something and like there was a little bit of something else in it? Or like,
Dear
I'm
God,
trying to
that
think
sounds
of,
horrible.
Doesn't it sound horrible? Like I would
Yes.
hate it.
That's what I was just going to ask. Like, does that actually result in better nourishment or more food intake if I'm eating something that's been digested by something else?
You would think that. I would think yes, because a certain amount of that food is going to be turned into waste.
Oh, good. So you're eating its poop now.
No. You're not eating its poop. What you're eating is if you eat, okay, let's say I'm a cannibal.
Oh, you always are saying that.
And you eat a chicken, Jeff. You eat a turducken.
Mm-hmm,
Not a whole turducken, however much of a turducken you like to eat. I'm not going to call you a glutton, but
just
just the tur, a little bit of the So you've got a belly full of food.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to happen is your body's going to break that food down, take nutrients from that food,
Right.
use it to make and power all of the systems of your body,
Right.
and then a certain amount of it is going to go out as waste. And what's happened is the raw nutrients from that thing have been synthesized. They've been changed into something else within your body. The stuff that you don't need has been thrown away or turned into fat. I would imagine that by eating you before you digest your turducken, not only am I getting the nutritional value of a Jeff, I'm also getting the the duck, and the N. You know what I mean? So it's a turducken.
Turducken?
Yeah.
Boy, it does sound delicious.
It sounds delicious, and it sounds like a lot more nutrients,
a lot
right?
More nutrients, yeah. Not just the j. Because you would just have the j if I hadn't just eaten a turducken.
Yeah.
I get you. But I would say that the reason we're seeing this in these creatures and not in mammals is because mammals don't usually eat the stomach, right? Or do they?
I think you eat every part you can eat.
Yes, you do.
You just bite in wherever you can.
Yes, so.
You don't get really.
I mean, a lot of animals just
a couple of lions around a downed gazelle are just like.
Don't touch that.
Oh really?
Yeah. Don't.
Do you want that part?
It's not so much that. It's that I just saw him eat a skunk.
Oh.
And I'm worried you're gonna bite into that and just regret it.
Skunk does make me queasy.
I know, right? Remember the last time?
Especially because it's so rare out here on the Serengeti.
You've never had Serengeti skunk?
The Serengeti skunk.
It's a delicacy.
You remember that dance craze from the 60s? All the kids were doing the Serengeti. Yeah, you don't see a lot of like
stank on it.
Picky lions that are just like, no, I don't eat the liver because that just.
I guess
you
that was
bite
a
in and you eat what you can. It's not a stupid thing, but I think it's a natural question. But I don't think
we don't eat the stomach.
Yeah. Well, we do.
I mean, I guess that's what tripe is.
Haggis.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Stomach's out there, baby.
Well, the next time I go to a place, I want to make sure that the thing I'm eating has just eaten.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs is all stomach.
I mean, it's got to be a lot of stomach.
What if a hot dog just had a hot dog?
It was just one entire hot dog, like those adorable dachshund costumes.
Yeah,
is that what you're asking?
Yeah, it's it's a turducken except it's a hot dog. Because it's a hot dog inside a hot dog. If you get my meaning,
wouldn't it be a
hot dog?
It'd be a hot parenthetical hot dog. And then dog.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Because you have to use PEMDAS. Anyway, kleptopredation. Potentially a thing, potentially an interesting thing, but also potentially just an interesting theory that will be disproven.
Right.
How likely? I don't know. Like, I think both things that they are bringing up are equally likely in my mind. That they're waiting for this thing to be in a weakened state, and that they're watching and saying like, "Hey, more food is better."
Yeah, it might not be an either or.
Yeah.
Right? It might be like, it's really good. You get the double whammy. You get that two birds with one stone thing where it's easier to kill them and they taste better.
Do that bang bang like Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Do both theories seem equally likely to you? Are you somebody who, are you an Egon that studied animals? One of those fucking Egons? Do you have a little insight into this?
I gotta say, I love how many Egons we have listening to this show. We get emails from Egons all the time and I love it.
Yeah. So many Egons. And if you have any insight into this, we'd love to hear from you too. You can let us know on Twitter. I'm at @Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
And you can hashtag those hot dog. And hey, if you enjoy this story, you want to talk about it with other concerned citizens, there are a few places you can do that, right, Jeff?
Oh yeah, so few. There is the subreddit, which is wehaveconcerns.reddit.com, and there's the Facebook group. There's that's facebook.com/groups/wehaveconcerns.
I don't think we need to be in more places,
No.
but do you think that we're in too few places?
No, I was just reinforcing what you said.
I don't know. We'll try to be in more places, I guess.
Yes.